Hello, welcome to another Godzilla Battle Line video. As I assume you know what the title says, I'm going to be talking about kaiju they could add to Godzilla Battle Line. Anyway, without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, so the first kaiju they can add to Godzilla Battle Line is Ebra, the crustacean who first debuted in Ebra, Horror of the Deep. It's a kaiju-sized lobster, which should be quite obvious considering it's a crustacean and therefore lives in the ocean. This kaiju in Godzilla Battle Line can be a silver unit. Like, that's really about it. If it's a bronze unit, I don't think it'd be that good, but if it's a gold unit, I think it'd be a tiny bit too overpowered. So I feel like that's a nice middle ground. Oh, and if this kaiju was in this game, then it moves faster and attack faster in water because it's a literal lobster, and logically it would make sense because lobsters would do better in water than in land. Its main way of attacking is its giant claws. It could chuck some boulders, but I feel like if they really want to make it more efficient, just use its claws, really. And on to that, we're gonna talk about our next kaiju. The next kaiju will be Monster X, also known as Kizer Ghidorah. Monster X, or Kizer Ghidorah, whichever you want to go, is a kaiju who first debuted in Godzilla Final Wars. This kaiju in Godzilla Battle Line can be a legendary unit who can evolve into Kizer Ghidorah after a set time has passed, just like Mothra, Ghidorah, Batra. You get the idea. Monster X's main way of attacking is using its Thunder Gravitational Beam. When Monster X has evolved into Kizer Ghidorah, Monster X will gain the ability to fly. As shown in the comics, well, it couldn't really fly in the movie because it's a suit. It's very heavy, but that's besides the point. And its main way of attacking is using its anti-gravity beams. And also, if they even want to make Monster X a leader unit, they can make his special move be his Energy Drain. A move that can drain the life of an enemy through Kizer's bite. In Godzilla Battle Line, it will, and when I say will remove a kaiju's HP by 75% of what it is, and that HP that was taken away from that specific kaiju will be given to Kizer Ghidorah, healing 75% of what that kaiju's HP was. Hopefully that makes sense, but if it doesn't, then you could probably do the math in your head. Which, depending on how much health a kaiju has, can definitely be a match changer, especially if Kiryu proceeds to press the absolute zero button into your face, even though I'm guilty of that. But that's besides the point. Anyway, let's talk about the last kaiju I want in this game. Alright, let's talk about Zilla. Yeah, that's right. I want this mutated iguana to be in this game. I was debating if I should use the series version of Zilla or the movie version of Zilla. In the end, I decided on the show version of Zilla because they have way more things we can use to pull for as our reference units. For starters, Zilla, or Zilla Jr., depending on which one you choose, will be a gold star unit. Like, it's just perfect, just like how Godzilla 1989 is a gold star unit. Zilla Jr. will also be a gold star unit. Although there will be differences. And what are those differences, you ask? Well, military units will not attack Zilla Jr. whatsoever, or could at least inflict like 10% damage onto Zilla Jr., both referencing Zilla's agility, as well as the fact that in the show, the military doesn't really try and attack Zilla Jr. because Zilla Jr. is technically on their side, even though his father was technically against their side, even though that technically wasn't the case because Zilla Jr.'s father... You know what? Let's not think too deep into this. But you get what I mean. Zilla Jr.'s main attack will be with its green atomic breath, and the unit cost will be 7 energy, which seems reasonable. Although now that I think about it, I feel like Tristar will Godzilla from the wars, and I guess anything is really possible? I don't know. Anyway, Serpentine out.